You return again, Guardian. And so does another egg from my clutch. It seems Mara's Harbinger has succeeded in pulling it close enough for you to catch. How convenient. Though it would have been far more convenient for them not to have been scattered at all. I have never taken Mara at her word. But she is not a fool. Had she been the one to set my eggs adrift, then she would have devised an easier way to retrieve them. One that requires less risk. But if Mara was not the one responsible, then who was? And what did they stand to gain from it? Manipulating the ley lines like this reeks of paracausal magic. An Ahamkara's doing. Someone wished for this. And when I find out who it was, then I will feast.
Osiris, are you on this channel?
I am. Quite frequently these days. How may I assist the Queen's wrath?
A personal matter. I was hoping you could tell me about your experience with Strand, how it's affected you.
Strictly research, but it is fascinating.
We know you've learned to wield it.
Who told you this? Mara. The rumors are true, though I am still only a figment of my former self.
That's understandable. But your worth was never seated in the light. It's in your mind.
I imagine I'm not unlike one of your Techians, then. If I'm not mistaken, the Queen mentioned you trained as one yourself.
A long time ago, without much success. Though my sister, Pinar, excelled in her training. She was the pride of Amethyst. I was not. But, even with that power, she couldn't stop the House of Wolves from razing our home. I joined the Corsairs shortly after, to hunt the wolves down.
Loss has a way of shaping us all.
And clouding us. I thought the decisions I was making were the ones required of me. A kind of honor-bound reaction to pressure. I burned bridges across the reef on my hunt. Without Mara, I'd be an outcast. Now, seeing the new Coven, having their respect, their trust, I can do more than just react. Maybe I can tap into that training for something progressive. As something other than a Techian. For the benefit of our people.
I've learned that failure is not a lacking within us. It is a sign that we were not ready to face the challenge we chose at the time. We must fall to start again, Petra. But as long as we persist, hope remains. Potential remains. Perhaps you're ready now.
I can see why Mara values your perspective. Thank you, Osiris.
We have a problem. I was prepping our entry point and Sol Divisive started pouring into the confluence. I managed to slip out into the Overcity undetected, but just barely.
How did they get ahead of us? Of the Techians?
I don't know, but we need to move on this.
Well, I suppose no plan survives contact with the enemy. Guardian, make sure whatever the Vex are planning doesn't survive contact with you.
My brood is in peril! Sneak thieves ransack my lair! Roar my fury through your fangs! Consume them all!
She's worked up. I'll guard the confluence from the surface, make sure nothing tries to ambush you. Osiris, I've been thinking about why the Vex would hit this spot.
And?
The Arboretum's where the confluence intersects with the Dreaming City's ley lines. They could be trying to establish a connection.
Or perhaps excise the confluence from the city altogether, thereby removing our ability to appease Riven.
That sounds like a Vex plan to me.
One we cannot abide.
I remember the Soul Divisive doing all sorts of weird things in the Black Garden. In the deepest parts, they were experimenting with paracausal forces, adjusting their code to more closely reflect the way they perceive the darkness.
But to no avail to my recollection. Perhaps this is the end of those experiments. Perhaps it is something new.
The Soul Divisive aren't getting along with the Taken.
Many Taken here have run themselves rabid, searching for purpose. The Vex must be trying to contain that behavior. Let it loose upon them. You'll need Soul Divisive signatures to pick those locks.
Think with their heads, Guardian.
Outside the Vault of Glass. I did not think it possible.
Are you seeing those readings too?
Resonance. If they are tapping into the Darkness's memory, it may enhance their predictive capabilities.
Looks like the Witness might have taught the Soul Divisive some new tricks.
Or the Soul Divisive sought to align their collective more closely with that which they worship.
Either way, I guess now we know how they got ahead of us.
There. You have them flat-footed. Strike before they seize the egg. A detainment matrix.
Shatter it!
Transmat signal scrambled. You're going to have to fight your way out, Guardian.
Fools! Poachers strip my dead! They wrap hungry jaws around my young!
Maybe we'd have gotten here sooner if you'd stopped playing games with us.
I'm long finished playing with you, fallen prince.
Enough. There is nowhere they can run that the Guardian cannot deliver your retribution.
Wish it true. Ask me to rewrite this failure, and I will make it so.
You really can't help yourself.
We have a lead. In the darkness connection we detected in the oracles. Start there, find the trail. Your egg isn't lost yet.